Right, let's grab it. Lights here for this message. I love having High Priestess on the bottom. So, but let's get a card. I would like to get a card to first define the collective of people who this message might be for. Spirit, please. Could we just get a card on the collective? Knight of Pentacles. So with this is to message for my, patient gang, people who build things slowly, surely, somebody who also doesn't rush. So this is to define the collective. So this is my slow movers, people who take their sweet time. I see the world on the bottom. So this is also to those of you who are completing something here as well. There's some kind of achievement that you've unlocked. Yeah, this world is definitely coming out. Five of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Ten of Swords, Queen of Swords. I love this. So with that, this is somebody here who is really truly coming into their power. Somebody who, like with this Ten of Swords, I feel this is you putting an end to something after, realizing the truth about something. And also I feel what it's all of that is I think there's that self-value, because here we have a Five of Pentacles in here. So you're realizing finally the value of yourself and the importance of pouring love into yourself. And also with this Ten of Swords and this world. So I feel like, you finally appreciating your lessons. You've gathering all that experience and turning it into wisdom. I'm speaking here to someone who, had a rather difficult path, and also with this Knight of Pentacles. So things are happening slowly, in your life, or maybe it feels like nothing is happening, that you're constantly going through lessons and heaviness. And it feels like, you also, like with this Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords, so yet again, that might be more than likely for my feminine part of the collective. So this is to those of you who you found your spark, like you found that light in like a darkest depths of your journey. You really truly found yourself after going through quite a bit of heavy, difficult, dark experiences, but you haven't lost it. You haven't lost your light. You haven't lost your honesty. You're still the same amazing, beautiful person that you were before all this bad shit happened to you. I feel like, whoever I'm speaking here to, like, you didn't allow it to change you in any way. Yes, you do carry some kind of bruises and wounds, and maybe, like, you've got stronger boundaries, or you struggle to trust people, but having King of Cups on the bottom. So I feel like, it might also refer to, I feel like this speaks of you being hurt in love as well a lot, or maybe you having certain hopes and dreams here for somebody that didn't come through. That's strongly is coming through. Hold on a second, I'm just gonna flip all these cards. So we also had Nine of Swords with the Four of Pentacles coming out, and this King of Cups that jumped out as well. So I feel, this speaks also, like, for what kind of just hurt. So for some of you, like, it feels like you've had to exercise stronger boundaries after, being disappointed here by somebody who you very possibly had strong feelings for. And this might also refer to somebody over water sign. Doesn't have to be. It might be somebody who is just, in touch with their feelings, like, somebody who is sensitive, maybe even oversensitive, what's coming through. And I feel like, you pouring love into that person, and you hold, and I feel like you really held them dear, like, close to your heart. But I feel like, with this Nine of Swords in here, the person caused you a lot more troubles than anything. And I feel like, there's a lack of clarity that is coming through, that you never kind of receive from that person. And I feel like, having Judgment and this Eight of Cups. So I feel Judgment speaks here of you having some sort of wake-up call, or you maybe finally sort of being got ready to release it in some way and walk away from something that felt deeply unfulfilling for you, or maybe something that made you feel like you weren't worth it, or there's like this lack of worthiness, like that comes through with you falling in love with somebody in here who didn't fully reciprocated it, that kind of knocked your confidence a little bit. But this is somebody that, like I said, with this Four of Pentacles, you really like them, like, you were really having kind of like a big hopes for it. And also with this Nine of Swords, you've spent a lot of sleepless nights thinking about this person and hoping for something to happen. But there's an Empress and the Page of Pentacles in here as well. So I feel this is you standing back again on your feet, and also with this Empress, you reminded yourself who the fuck you are. And also Empress is also a big card of nurturing yourself and caring for yourself. So I feel like, you finally had that realization of that truth, like, hold on, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I sort of exhausting myself here, and stressing myself over somebody who clearly doesn't want me, or somebody who clearly hasn't got it in them to step up or to be there for me, or to sort of even like claim that connection or claim that energy, like, that was between the two of you. Queen of Pentacles. But you know who you are now, and I feel like even probably meeting this person helped you in some way to kind of once and for all fully realize what you're not going to be put up with anymore, or what you're not going to be tolerating. And yeah, there's a Two of Swords that is coming out. So I feel there was a lot, when it comes to this connection, there was a lot you didn't see about the person. Because yeah, on the outside, like with this King of Cups, on the outside, he looks very gentle, he looks very sweet, very loving. But I feel there is something like with this Two of Swords that you didn't fully see about this person. There's a Hierophant on the bottom. So I feel this is you listening to your spirit guides and kind of tuning in a little bit more into your own frequency. And yeah. So this is like with this Devil card that is coming out. So I feel like this is something that you didn't truly see behind, the mask, or you didn't see the true colors of this person. And also with this Hierophant, what I just heard. So I feel like, you've been heavily protected from this, like, not to go too deep into this, because that person wasn't like truly meant for you, if that makes sense. And also somebody who was posing here, like with this King of, somebody who might have been posing as somebody, really great, where in fact, like with this Devil, they still have some kind of strong ties to the past, and they might be like, underneath all of this sweetness, they might be actually very toxic, what comes through with this Devil. Yeah, there's a Temperance on the bottom. So I feel like this refers to you kind of realizing, like, hold on, I don't want to put up with any of this. I don't want this. This is what you want with a King of Wands. Somebody who is decisive and takes that decisive action towards you. And also having Queen of Wands that came out previously. So you want somebody who matches your fire, matches your energy, matches your love. Not somebody who you have to chase, beg, or none of that stuff. Because like I said, coming back to your own self-value and your own self-worth, that you kind of recognize and a lot better. That Queen of Pentacles is still on the bottom. While I'm saying this, right, let's just get a couple more cards and we'll wrap Emperor and Empress landing on the top of the Empress. So yeah, exactly, this is the energy you want to invite in your life. And yeah, and there's this Queen of Pentacles with a Death on the bottom. So like, I feel like, you transform something here, and with this Nine of Cups, like, you bringing it all in, all of that is coming in for you. And also you look at this pair, so this is like the divine counterparts, and this is the counterpart that you want. And also like, with this Queen of Wands, so this speaks of this like a mirroring energy, and somebody who is just like you. So I feel like a lot of you in my collective, guys, are going to cross paths with that person. And also, but there's something that you have to definitely, like, let go of this person that you've been here holding on to. And yeah, there's this with this Death, so this is like the energy of letting go and end. And Ace of Swords, because you understand this connection a lot better. That they only showed up in your life to shine some light on you. And I'm seeing King of Pentacles behind them. So this is what you want, man. This is what you want. And also with this Queen, with this High Priestess, I feel like there is some kind of new, very strong, important connection entering your life that's going to, yeah, with this Hanged Man, bring that new perspective and new vision, literally, like, with this Ace of Swords. And you're going to finally understand everything and why everything happened the way it did. And then you're going to also understand why there's all the connection that you've been, pardon me, clinging on to and hoping for it to come in, why you had to let it go, why that was actually causing you more stress than anything. But I feel it's on a big way, like, it was actually preparing you for that real union, with that true soulmate of yours, soulmate, twin flame, whatever you believe in. But I feel like, you know, in a broader sense, this energy speaks of someone who definitely realize, like, you know, it's time to walk away. You've been waiting for too long for something to come in, and you know what you want to attract, and you know what you worth and what you deserve. You deserve exactly the same amazing person to love you that you are, and the way that you love. You deserve it to be reciprocated properly. Right, okay, I'm going to leave you with that. Love it. Bye.